Yo, 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 what's going on, good people? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby. Representing Team Kings of Games. And today I'm coming at you guys with an update on True Dracos. I really wanted to put some respect on this deck real quick, because I just really want you guys to understand that this deck can be played in so many different ways. It's a very versatile deck. It's a very deadly deck. It's it's just a very well-rounded deck. It's good at doing so many different things. It's a lot better than what it's perceived to be, I guess, by the general public. But the people who play True Draco, they understand that this deck is not a joke. It's a powerhouse. It really is. It can do a whole lot of things, and I just feel that all the different playstyles, the culmination of the Draco variants. I myself have played so many variations of Dracos. You just have to realize how versatile this deck really is. I just want to give some respect to it before I did my profile. But this is my take on going second Mystic Mine True Dracos. I felt that this is one of the better builds. My mindset on it was just all gas. It's normally how I build my competitive decks. And so basically the deck is just trying to steamroll through everything. It's a Draco deck, but the purpose is to get out every Draco monster. So let's go ahead and get to the list without any further rambling. So we're playing 3 copies of Ignis Heat. Yeah, this boy is fire. Quite literally, and in so many different ways. This is one of the best Draco monsters. This is probably the second best. I have to give it to Knuckles. He's the best. He really is. Clay Matthews, he's earned the right. I still do play Maiden. I believe in I just respect Maiden. I wanted to play General too because I love all the Dracos. General is probably actually my personal favorite. The Earth Dryeth, the General. But I don't have him in this list right now because this is just it's good, but it's a little too slow, and I'm just trying to get these guys out right here and just work through my deck, you know. And then I'm still putting some respect on the Rocky Boy. I'm still playing 2 Omano Iwatos. I think this card is so potent, it's ridiculous. This has never been a bad card. So that's it for the monsters. Earnestly, you don't need too many, but this deck's gonna plow through so many different powerful boards. It's capable of breaking Thunder boards, Sky Striker boards, Salamangreat boards, Orcus boards. Do not sleep on this deck. There's some cards in here that are gonna change the way that this deck is played. This is the way I feel it should be played right now. So we're rocking 3 copies of Mystic Mine. You don't even have to break the board if you can just drop a mine on your opponent. And I do not respect this card. This is a Weenie Hut Jr. These cards are just brain dead, honestly. That's how I feel about them. Like, I feel that they're good cards, but because they're so free and so easy to play, and it's also at the same time I respect them because they're so good. You can't deny it, even though it's easy and it's free and people understand. You're like, it doesn't take a lot of skill to play these cards sometimes. They're free. They're so powerful in this deck against all the good combo decks. Just against a Danger Thunderboard, if you normal summon an Amano Iwato and then activate a Mystic Mine, that Amano Iwato is going to return to your hand and the Mystic Mine is going to be up and your opponent's going to have all those monsters. Can you believe that? That's crazy. So yeah, this is a really, really powerful combination of cards right here. And you have so much draw power to get to it. So this is the stun portion of the deck, and there's 2 other stun cards. I might as well just drop them in there right now because the rest of the deck is pretty much just gas. We're playing 2 copies of Erupt, so these are the only stun cards that I'm playing in my deck. The rest of it is all gas. There are no other Floodgate-esque cards. I chose to focus heavily on monster effects because I feel that every deck relies on monsters in some way, shape, or form to get the job done. Unless it's Mystic Mine, Burn, but this deck has some of the best matchups against back row heavy decks. Like, Dracos are so good against other stun decks. Like, they outclass all the other stun decks. So, yeah, that's the stun portion of the deck. Alright, let's get into the gas, you guys. Let's get into the more of the powerful starter cards. We're playing 3 Double Ds, Diagram for the win. We're playing 2 Optimus Prime, a set rotation, 6 Double Ds. We're playing 3 Mystic Mines, so we have 6 field spells. The set rotation is always live. This is gas right here. We play 3 Pot of Duality. We play 3 Card of Demise. We're playing 3 copies of Pot of Desires. And we're playing 3 copies of Into the Void. We're playing 2 copies of Strike of the Monarchs. So I'm going to stop right here before I talk about Strike. Everything right here is just to help me dig deeper into my deck for my specific combo pieces. And my combo pieces, for me, are the True Draco spells and traps and the True Draco monsters. That's all I'm worried about. That's the game plan, baby. All day, let's go. That's all we're worried about. The True Draco spells and traps and the True Draco monsters. Everything else in the deck is irrelevant. I don't even need diagrams if I could just get to those cards. So we are not playing any games. That's exactly what we're going all the way in for the win. We're playing the risk with the desires. This deck is capable of thinning itself out first before you even resolve desires. You can search out your common pieces first. Like, even in the Danger Thunder matchup, you can drop a mine on them. Like, you can do so many things. Like, it's crazy. You could apocalypse their fields. Like, you can have unbreakable quote fields. Like, this deck used to be able to still hang with the extra links back in the day. Like, this deck is not a joke. So yeah, these are all gas. And to help to combat these boards whenever we're going second. Oh yeah, continue with the draw power upstart. So to help to combo with to combat these devastating boards. So you have the mines, you have the erupts and the Manuiwados, and then you have to put some respect on the impermanences. You still need turn 0 play, so you need to play some kind of hand trap. So impermanence was my choice, obviously, because it blends well with demise. It doesn't conflict with your engine. It's a really strong card. In general, I always set it in call number 1 or 5 because they're the pendulum zones. I respect pendulums. And then we play 2 copies of Strike on the Monarchs. This is basically... This is hot red on legs, and it's a spell speed 2. It's gas, and it lets you draw cards, and it has a good effect in graveyard. And it's a quick play. You can just set it in your back row, and you can ignite it on your opponent's field, and they won't even understand what's going on. You can negate any card on the field, brother. That's a really good card, and it draws. So all these draw. And guess what? These draw too. We play, let me get this big old pile of draw cards and search cards, because there's still some more draw cards. These are the best cards in the deck outside of the True Draco monsters. 3 Heritage, 3 Disciples, 3 Apocalypse, and 1 Return. These are the best cards in the deck. Never underestimate these cards, my brother. Ever. These are the best cards in, like, hands down, this is all it's about, baby. Everything else, that's just in between. This is what it's all about. This is what you don't want to banish with desires, but you play 3 of almost everything. And you can search it out. Like, this deck is not a joke, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get some test hands in for you guys so that you can see exactly how this deck functions. Because this is not a, this deck is not a punk. I'll say it like that, you guys. This deck is definitely not a punk. It's not playing any games with anyone. It's got a really, really strong arsenal. I've covered so many different grounds when building this deck. I wanted to make it versatile. And I feel that this deck is more reactive than proactive. I want you guys to understand the difference between a proactive player and a reactive player. There's a difference between the two. And I prefer to play my Dracos a bit more reactive. There's a proactive aspect to the deck because it's got a little bit of stun in it. You know, I'll give it that. It's got a few floodgates like a Manuiwado, Mystic Mine, and Erupt. So though that small portion of the deck, but the rest of it is more reactive and it's gas. This is like a really, really powerful deck. It's not trying to just hide behind back row and floodgates and think it's getting the job done with the monsters and the True Draco spells and traps. I'm telling you, baby, that's what it's all about. They can rip boards apart just popping apocalypses. Like, you get 2 pops a turn for spells and traps and for monsters, and all those cards have 3 effects. So I'm sorry if that's not good. I don't know what good is. My battery got kind of low, so the flash turned off. So let me go ahead and just turn this light on. There we go. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we got a quick little power shuffle. I'm going to show you guys this test hand. But yeah, True Dracos are definitely not a joke, you guys. You have to respect the deck, because it's got a lot of cards. Like Card of Demise in a going second deck, you don't understand the magnitude of that. You can throw so many cards at your opponent and they'll eat them, and they can eat 2 cards out of your hand as a Danger Thunder player, and you can just break their board apart and resolve a Card of Demise and start tearing their butt up. You can negate the effect of Colossus. You can just go off. You can really start tearing some boards up, I'm telling you guys right now. If you just open a trap, tribute it, summon a Draco monster, pop Hope Harbinger, like, just, and then just, like, you know, activate Strike, target the, you know, like the Colossus or the Hot Red, like, you can just pick boards apart with this deck. It's insane what it can do. It's very reactive. It's a good going second deck. I believe in it. Let's do this. Desires, Duality, Mystic Mind, Into the Void, Apocalypse, Disciples. This hand is gas. I'm telling you guys right now, this hand is gas. And we're going to hold the Mystic Mind. We're not going to activate that right away because that's a powerful card. So we're going to Into the Void. We got a diagram. We're in there, you guys. We're in there. We're going to go ahead and hit them with the Duality. We're going to hold the Desires. We're going to grab that Terraforming. That was definitely worth it. We got 2 diagrams. And we've got some works in our hand. We can really do some crazy stuff with this hand, you guys. I'm telling you right now, this is a good hand. So let's go ahead and Terraforming, because we're getting ready for a Desires play. So we want to get some important cards like Clay Matthews and the Maiden out of the deck, because the Maiden can dig for the Ignises, and there's 3 Ignises, so I'm confident that all 3 of them won't be banished. So we need to get Maiden and what's his name? Clay Matthews out of the deck. Yeah. Before we banish anything with that Desires. So we can start tearing some boards apart though. Because this hand is really, really strong. Even if we wanted to bait negations, we could hit him with the Desires and it would be well worth the risk. Trust me, my friend. So let's go ahead and set that Apocalypse and then diagram, pop the Apocalypse. Let's go ahead and grab Knuckles. The Apocalypse will go ahead and pop a monster on the field, or attempt to target a monster on the field and destroy it. This deck can really eat boards apart because if it doesn't finish it on this turn, it can finish it in your opponent's main phase. It's a really strong deck. And let's go ahead and activate the second diagram. Let's activate Disciples. Actually, let's go ahead and activate Desires. Let's banish 10. Let's see what happens. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Into the Void and Demise. That's gas. Wow, we didn't banish anything important. And we drew into the Void and Carta Demise. That's gas. Whoo! This deck is with it. I'm telling you guys, don't be sleeping on my deck builds, man. Into the Void into a true DRACO Heritage. We are litty, my friend. Let's go ahead and activate Disciples. Additional tribute, some of the Knuckles. Disciples could potentially pop a card on the field. Like, we could break some boards, my friend. Activate Heritage, draw 2. And we haven't even used the second diagram's effect yet. We've only resolved 1 diagram effect because we searched for Knuckles. We drew 2, we drew another Disciples and an Apocalypse. That's not that bad. So let's go ahead and check our grave. Those Into the Voids are gas, my friend. Truly, they are gas. Let's go ahead and hit them with diagram, pop the Heritage. None of my true DRACO monsters got touched. None of them. Let's go ahead and grab Majesty. We've got all the spells unlocked. I respect Majesty Maiden. She's a good card. Especially comboed with Dynamite. It gives you more disruption on your opponent's turn. Because you contribute any of your continuouses, so you can pop back rows or monsters. And I like that you can just snipe cards in your opponent's turn with Dracos. I respect that. Let's activate Disciples. Let's grab Heritage. Disciples. Apocalypse. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. I'm almost finished with this video. Alright, my fault, you guys. I had to let my friend in. Alright, so we're going to target all 3 of these. And we're going to go ahead and shuffle these into our deck. And then we're going to draw 1 card. We drew a Disciples. That's unfortunate. That truly is. It really is. But you know what? It's okay. We've got a lot of advantage on our opponent. So we can go ahead and just normal summon for turn. Maiden. We can set our Apocalypse. We can activate the Disciples. we can set the Mystic Mine. We can activate the Demise. I would do it that way. Or matter of fact, just to dodge more negations. If there were no more negates or any more interruptions on the field, you could activate the Mystic Mine. And also be conscious of any time your opponent tries to interact with you while you have Draco monsters on the field, you can chain their effects and get more advantage that way. But I'd set it and I'd activate the Demise because I feel like this is more important sometimes. And I draw 3. It's Ignis Heat and 2 Heritages. Man, the spells and traps love me. We'd activate the Mine. Activate the Heritage. Additional tribute from Heritage. Drop an Ignis Heat. And that hand is Heat. That's all gas. We got all 3 of the true Draco monsters on the field. So yeah, that's a really good hand. That's a really good setup. You're going to accrue so much advantage off these cards. You have all the good cards. Look. And he's about to do this for you. He's about to grab this return. She's going to grab this. He's going to get this to your hand. Disciples. And you're just going to start mollywopping. That's just going to happen. You're just going to start wrecking your opponent's boards. Because you can get 3 interruptions off of this. You could use this to half. This can pop a card. Then you can use this to, you know, tribute summon. Then you can, like, tribute this. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so many ways that you can interact with your opponent. Just playing true Dracos. So yeah, that's a really just solid. Like, they have a high ceiling, I feel. They really do. And I like this build. I personally feel that Dracos are run better as a faster deck. Because they were not meant to be a slow, back row heavy, just really grindy stun deck. You know, I feel they've always been a really strong reactive system. They're like a well-oiled machine. Like, they go off. Like, this is gas. That's gas. And that's totally fine, because this is gas. The whole hand is gas. Like, that's a good card, that's a good card. These are all just very good cards. You can just, yeah, like, that's very good. You've got a way to drop a Mystic Mine on them with set rotation. Yeah, that's really good. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys for checking out my current build on True Dracos. I hope you guys enjoyed it. God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. And you folks have a wonderful evening.